there anyone who doesn't have a 219?
If this isn't 219, then I don't know.
Well, check the header.
Oh.
All right, switching screens.
How do you control both screens? You have a monitor?
Yeah, you just have a dual monitor setup. So I'll show you at the end of class if you're actually curious how you can do it on your own.
Because I've worked with monitors, I've just never had them both projected to me.
Yeah. All right, friends. Now today, we will, and actually this may make a lot of you like, oh, okay, I get it now. We are going to continue working with our equation maths. Excuse me. But we're going to get to the point where we see, like, wait a minute, that can't actually be true. Or, like, oh, so x could be multiple things. Or x could be just this one thing. Or x can't be anything. Or x could be any number. Like, literally any. And we'll start digging into all those weird situations like the homework last night alluded to if you went too far on that one problem, which is totally fine. I love that you guys went further than you needed to, but read carefully. Don't do more than it asks unless you want to. Okay?
But if, like, so for A, the x's on the left side, they have to be the same amount as the x's on the right side.
Not necessarily.
Or, like, the same number. Right? So,
Not
like,
necessarily.
So just...
You can start with a different quantity of x's on your left side compared to your right side and still be perfectly fine.
Well, like, so if this is on the top.
Yeah. I'm just cutting this out so there's less to look at.
The x on the left side, let's say that's 3. The x on the right side, wouldn't that also have to be 3 because it's a part of the same?
If that ends up being true, yes. But when you first started talking, we were talking about quantity of x's.
Yeah, I know, that's why.
So, guys, let's write down what we have here. Right? This was what the first problem in the homework did. It just said, just write down what you have. Right? Just start by giving us what we have.
Should we just write solving for x again?
Yeah, it is literally just like a continuation of the same topic. So I'm going to go my way. You can go your way if you want, but I'm going to write exactly what we see to start and then take it from there. So on the top, I see an x. I see 3 positives. In the negative area, or in the opposite area, I see an x and I see a negative 1. So I can write x minus 1 if we allow that to just be written as subtraction. So then we say equal to. In the top, I see an x and a negative 2. And I'm going to have you guys do b on your own. I know I'm kind of talking through this, and some of you are like, what the heck? Let us do it. Yep, I goofed because I was talking at the same time.
In the parentheses, would you rather have the
Up to
x
you.
in front of the 2x or the 2x in front of the x?
Up to you. Now, I write it like this because those are negative and it's easier to put the negative after something. Because then we can write it like subtraction. Right? We know they're negative, but we can write it like subtraction. Right? So now, clean up. And really, when I start cleaning up, I distribute the negative because how I set it up, I have to. And I'm not going to use red because we're on an orange background and that's just weird. So x plus 3 minus x plus 1. X. I could write minus 2 if I want. Sure, we'll go ahead. We'll do subtraction today, make some people happy.
Oh.
Now, I could have combined these as like terms, but because that would have just made a negative x value, I just decided, I'll combine terms later. It doesn't matter if you combine them now or combine them later. You just got to do it at some point. So now I'm going to keep cleaning up. X, negative x, oh, well, disappear. 3, 1, I get 4. X, negative, oh, well, those disappear. Ooh, but I still have this 2x.
They're uncomparable.
Ooh,
It's not
crap.
-1.
I know! Sorry, Simon's shouting stuff out and I was trying to decide how to respond to that.
So then you just add 2.
Now, hold up. So, be careful just shouting things out because, like, I want us to have, like, a safe space, but, like, be careful if you aren't sure, and even if you are sure, like, we haven't covered these things yet. This isn't non-comparable. Like, yeah, they are. They're equal. Like, we were told to start, they're equal, because that's what the double bar means.
But it could be a lie. You don't know that.
Right. But, so, don't assume things to be, like, you will not figure that out till the very end.
It is comparable.
Yeah, I know, but those aren't very common. And we don't like those. Right? They're not our friends, so we don't want to hang out with them. Alex, what do I do here?
Okay, I was just going to answer. Alright, so what you do here would be you add 2 to both sides.
Yeah. Now, if we've been asked to isolate the x, we want to get rid of the constant that's on that side with it. We get 6 is equal to 2x. And like we saw a bunch yesterday, x must be 3.
That's why I have a bone to pick with CC3. Why is x always 3?
It's not. They're just getting you comfortable. I dislike that they did that because they're making it seem like x can keep being the same value, but hey, I don't make the rules.
On the test, when we have to do this, you make all the x's 3 so we can just...
No, I absolutely... Hey, let's just go ahead and put it out there now. On the mastery, x's will not all be 3. I know it keeps happening. So, solve this. What's y? Solve this. What is y? And this is on your pink sheet, if you noticed. This is on your pink sheet. It's right here.
Oh, it's an
You didn't notice these examples are on here.
These are answers.
Salmon, whatever. You should always look at the pink sheet that comes in front of you. It says examples from class.
I didn't realize that this was 2y minus...
I'm going to solve this one differently.
I'm not looking because it'll make my brain. Oh yeah.
This is on your pink sheet.
You're skipping steps.
Henry, this is on your pink sheet. You don't need to be able to see through me. No, I will not move because you should be referencing your pink sheet. Like the homework sheet that we handed out to everybody. We did that at the beginning of class, so you had it in your possession. This is on there. It's part B on the first problem, right there on your pink sheet.
Oh, I see.
Nah, this is just a different way we can solve it.
But you said you had to write it out.
I'm breaking my own rule. That's okay. So, Liam's really upset when I'm breaking my rule, but I know some of you, because as I work with you solving these things, you're like, well, can't we just get rid of those because they cancel out? You can, but man, be careful, because that's how you end up making mistakes. So we have a y in the positive region and a y in the negative region on the same side. They will cancel. That was like that x and that positive, or positive x and negative x last time. If we do that, now my left side has a y, and in the negative has 2 negatives. So actually the opposite of 2 negatives. Oh, really? We just have y plus 2.
Yeah.
Or if I drag these up over, like I can make them positive that way. Questions on the left side?
Well, I have a general question.
Okay.
When is the Khan Academy thing happening?
Oh, yeah, I keep trying, during a family forum. I think most people have forgotten about that, but I was trying to get more prizes mustered up. Like gathered. Sorry, I didn't make that sound like mustard. If you did Khan Academy over the summer, you are entered to potentially win prizes. But I'm trying to find out when we can actually do it, because it only involves the 7th grade, really. So we will get there. If you did Khan over the summer, like, you are entered. I've got that stuff. If you didn't do very much, you don't have very many entries. I'm not taking Khan Academy questions right now. So, Simon, for what it's worth, that was really off topic. It didn't even have to do with our lesson, so I appreciate the question, but it was a total, jump on a different track sort of question. Alina, what's up? You look stressed. Alina, what's up? You look stressed. When you act like you're murmuring back there about something. Can I help with something? Okay, you sure? All right. Be careful back there. I keep worrying that you're gonna somehow knock that shelf off. Yeah, right side. But
So, on the, can I write this? Okay, I wrote it right. I did it. Okay.
We have a lot of people off task, and I'm worried when it comes to mastery, we're not going to be ready. We still got to decide when we're taking your mastery, which if it comes down to my decision, it's just Thursday. Like, that just makes the most sense. Yeah, it just makes the most sense. We still got to talk about that. We have a -2 up top. And because it's the first thing I write, I got to put it in parentheses. If that's the first thing you write, you put it in parentheses, because you can't call it subtraction when there's nothing ahead of it. So -2, and then in the negative area, we see a -y. So what actually happens here? It's really a positive y, right? Because if I bring it up, it would flip. So I have -2 plus y. We have a positive y on both sides. So we can
add 2 to each side.
take it away. Now hold up.
Wait,
then you can't.
Ooh, sorry. I mess up when a million people are talking.
non-equate.
I agree with you, but you don't need to add 2.
It's just easier to look at it that way. 4 is not equal to 0. Either is 2 equal.
Oh.
Once we subtract y, we get to here. Does 2 equal -2? No, I sure wish that could be true. I'd turn all my debt into positive money. But this is not true. So we say no, or if you're like me, I like the word nope better. So then we slash out this, and slash out this, and slash out this, and we come back up here, and we slash, oh, hey, don't do that. Slash out our equals. This is not actually balanced. And
Y equals -2.
it does not.
Yes, it does, because at a certain point, the equation
It can equal anything.
is Y
It can equal anything.
Shush.
Stop
Y
interrupting.
plus 2 equals -Y minus 2. Because
That is not what the equation was, Henry. So I'm not like, I'm just being honest.
I think we're talking
Here.
about different things.
If you are, you need to identify that you're looking at the wrong thing. We are on the pink sheet, and I don't have any more extras. But if you are looking at 219's pink sheet, it is this. This. Yeah, I don't know why Charlie got really mad at that. Oh, because they're not equal. That's why you got mad. So, Henry, I need you with me just to make sure that we are saying the same thing and making like, I don't want you to think you were wrong or, you know, what. So, we here, when we wrote things down, had a positive y and in the opposite area a -2, which cleaned up to y plus 2. Here, if I push my y across that center line, Simon, I got it. Thank you. I appreciate that you're trying to help him, but like I'm directly talking with him right now. 3 people doesn't really help. That y becomes positive. Positive y after this nonsense happened. But these are 2 negatives. So right here in this phrase, we're saying a number plus 2 is the same, before we put the red slash, as that number take away 2. Not true. Because taking away 2 is the opposite as the adding. Are we with me now? Do we have any issues, questions, concerns, quandaries, queries, qualms, quips? Sanders?
Why did you say takeaway like we are in first grade?
Because I use a lot of different words to incorporate the various vocabulary that mathematics has.
You said that really
Yes.
fast.
Oh, so you're gonna say takeaway and then say that.
I haven't
So really the reason in that exact sentence was to try to get you to say, like, if you had a pizza, right, a thing, bring in 2 more slices. Compared to that pizza, take away 2 slices, right? Like physical, not equal, right? And not equal, not fair. So that ends up being a mathematical falsity that was never actually true.
Okay, so I have a question.
I know I'm cheating.
Hey guys, we can't all talk at the same time. I normally let my class be pretty casual, but that's failing in this room. We gotta use hands. Simon.
It's not where Henry messed up.
I'm not fixated on where Henry messed up. I'm just trying to make sure we're all okay with how we got here. So do we need to talk about how we got to this actual physical thing?
No.
I'm not asking you. You're being really rude right now. Are we good? Because we're going to do more of these. That's the whole point of like practicing so you get more comfortable. Leah.
Well, I thought by that second step that you did, I already knew that it wouldn't equate. So you've been saying mathematicians are efficient. So why did we simplify it down another one when we didn't need to?
You could stop. If you right here want to say like, oh, I know they're not equal, you can. If you want my honest answer, because I'm a teacher to kids that aren't as good as, like you guys need more practice. I'm not going to stop here because we need to get to this point of seeing, oh, this is why they're not equal. Getting rid of the y cleans it up. And now, if this was y plus 2 equal to negative 2 plus like x or z or like some other, like that changes things. But that's not what we have. Let me check the pink sheet. So the next 3 equation mats. All of mine are gone. I normally have one. The next 3 equation mats. Write those out, and if you don't think you have space here, use your graph paper that you should have out. We're going to work through these and see if these are all true or if any of these were lies from the get-go.
Why does CPM do this to us?
It's not CPM, it's all mathematics. This is how you learn about equations or inequalities.
The only thing CPM does is make us do other children's homework for them.
So what might alleviate some of your woes is if we go back to an equation mat just to at least clean things up. Right, so we know when we push things across this line, they flip. I'm going to separate these things. And push across the line and flip. So this is that, 82A on your paper. I'm just moving things and flipping them.
And then we take out the ones that...
Yeah, so now this is where I really like having 2 screens. I'm going to plant that in the bottom so we can keep looking at it, and then right up here. Right, so this is now, we pushed everything up top. We have an x squared. I don't like blue. Or I don't like red, I need blue. It only took me 7 years to get to this point of things working well. Are we all okay with we have x squared plus 2x plus 2 after we clean it up? On the right side, x squared plus x. If I group a 0, right, I wish I could write on the screen. How sweet would that be? If I group this 0, I really just have the negative 1. So I could write plus 1, minus 2, or whatever, but if I make the 0, I really just have a negative 1 or a minus 1. Any questions at this point? Now you, without me, take this all the way to see, is it actually equal? Can we figure out what x is? Or do we figure out it's actually a lie? Do that with B and C as well. I'm going to move on to B and start cleaning that up. You guys should be doing your own work on your paper.
Oh, do we not do A then?
You finish A while I move on. Okay. I don't want to keep doing A. I want you to do it on your own without me. Maybe you guys should just both solve it on your own and then talk after I say, okay, let's talk. And just ignore him. All they're saying, maybe we took 2 different routes. Maybe one of us did make a mistake. But we'll figure it out, right? If you are struggling with any of these problems on your homework, I do encourage you, you can get to the online equation mat pretty easily through the ebook if you have the actual book page. So when you have the toolbars, if you go to tools, you can get to our tiles from the tools. And you can just search CPM equation mat and you'll actually get to it that way too.
You can just go through the homework and then on the homework
Yeah.
problem there's homework help and then right next to it there's the e-tool. Just click on that and it's
Just like this. They've set up the e-tools for, I think, every homework problem that involves a mat. So then for C, just got to clean that up. B is up on the screen. You wondering about B? Oh, well, yeah, you should have had graph paper out, right? So once we start looking at that, you can jump to graph paper.
I took graph paper out, but I thought we were working on this paper instead of the graph paper.
So what I was trying to get through is you can see what was up on the screen on this paper. You don't have to do your work on this paper, but this, because he was asking me to move, because if you don't need to move, you have this in front of you. That's what I was meaning. You don't have to write everything on that paper. You can write wherever you want. Even for your homework, you can write on graph paper.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a worksheet so it's easier for you. So you don't have to lug a math book around or have a laptop. I separated out some zeros in C.
Oh yeah, that's what I did.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I was -6. And then it's basically the same as the
Mr.
other
Hudson,
side.
why didn't you take
It's
out
the
the
exact
ones that
same
you
thing.
could?
Well, I moved them off to the side. I just didn't really take them out. I'm not gonna like think about those. I know those are zeros.
My brain is in this.
It's the exact same
All right,
thing.
3 situations to look at before we get out of here. And all that made me want to say is 3 short neck buzzards. And you guys didn't get that song at camp because my cabin actually thought up a skit. So anyone want to talk me through this? Any volunteers? I know you got to be really confident to. Hazel? What do you want me to do on both sides?
Oh,
Yeah, we're back at A. Sorry, I'm back at A.
alright, so take out the x squared.
Yeah, the x squared is the same on both sides. Get rid of it. Take out the x squared. Take out the x squared. Drop down everything else that didn't change. What next, Hazel? Remember, in this step, we have 4 options. Hazel may not say the same thing you did, but we'll probably end up in the same place because you have 4 correct options here. You want to make a guess for which, like?
Add a negative x both sides.
Yeah, add a negative x. You even said it like I would, but I'm going to write it just like minus x because you can. Because this, we know an x take away an x is 0. My right side is just a -1. My left side is still an x and 2.
Well, I disagree with you about.
What, you want to write a 1?
No, I disagree with
I
you
would do
saying
that.
add negative x because you have an x. You can
Yeah,
take away an
yeah,
x
you
from
can
that
literally
x.
move it off the, yeah, it's okay. You can think however you want. You guys are digging out. I gotta teach that differently next year because you're way too dug in.
Do you have to simplify it as far as you're going, or if you know the answer, can you just say that it's?
If you know, sure, but I don't know how you for sure know until you go like almost all the way to the end. Like here, there's only one more step to go. Right? What's the last step?
You know what the last step is.
Ooh, no, it's not.
Add rows. No.
Take away that 2 from that side. And we could physically take it away if we're thinking about the algebra mat, right? So, sorry, down here, this is C, so this is not the right mat. I should have switched. But when we do that, x is negative 3. Now write it down, even if you goofed, write it down and go check it. Hold up, we got 2 more to go over that I need to breeze through really fast. Your temptation here will be to say this isn't is not equal. That's not true. If we process this and we put these together, well, that's going to be 2, right? X plus 2, 2x plus 2. If I take away the x cannot be anything. You guys have to stop shouting things out. X equals 2x. That does not mean x can be anything. You think 100 equals 200? Ah.
I mean,
what should I do now? Give it to me. Yeah.
Okay, so you take away x from 1x from both of them.
Take away 1x from both sides. That leaves us 0 is equal to... X can only be one thing there. 0. Hey, did I say pack up and leave? We got 1 more to go over. I said we got 3 to go. They can wait. Voting often goes long. Here, because the left side is actually identical to the right, x can be anything, which I need you to write this down. What we say for that is ARN, which means all real numbers. X can be, or actually it's either all, or in this situation we're using it saying any. It can be any number. Yeah. Here it can be any. X could be phi, X could be infinity. Except we can't really grasp infinity, so technically it's a thing. But, all right, that's all I got for you.